I started catering as a side business. I wanted to succeed, so I got a domain name and a website from GoDaddy.com. And because I also got a website builder with it, I got it for $3.99. I worried that getting set up on the internet would be difficult, but GoDaddy made it a cinch. Thanks to my $3.99.com name from GoDaddy, my business is smoking! Jump! Oh.
Just go to www.godaddy.com/TV.
Just let it cool down a bit, it'll be fun.
One issue that has web hosts concerned these days is the race among some companies to lower prices and how that practice is affecting the industry as a whole. If you were at HostingCon this year, you may have seen the panel on the hosting price wars and their effect on the industry. If you missed it, however, here's what our experts had to say.
Hosting's probably priced correctly for those type of sites where it's not very interactive and there's not a lot going on. But I do think that the future really is in helping customers build more interactive, more productive sites that really help them either generate leads or operate their business more efficiently. And I think that's where you'll see, higher price points. The pricing pressure for brochure sites is there right now, but I think, you still have the shops that are specializing in working with small businesses that are getting a higher price point.
The consumer is always going to sort out the best value for the money, but what I see in the decline of hosting prices is really a separation between the commoditized providers and the value-add providers. If a hosting provider is stuck on the old model of how much disk space and bandwidth transfer and email accounts can I offer, their prices are plummeting. For those that can provide a full suite of value-add services designed to enable the small business to be more successful, those services actually command more dollars. So most of the clients we're dealing with at Hostopia are in fact not reducing their prices. Some of them are even getting greater upgrades. So it's holding the value. But one has to have the services and the value add to justify the higher prices.
Well, I think that the downward pressure has been somewhat negative and somewhat positive in that I think we're unfairly compared pretty often to the unsavvy consumer that doesn't realize what we offer and the level of service that we offer. However, our products aren't exactly expensive either. So, you'll always get the consumer that's willing to move their service and is willing to make a change for $2 or $3 a month. But I think, as people become more savvy about what's going on in the industry and understand the importance of service and a sound underlying infrastructure, I think that those few dollar price differences aren't so important anymore. But I would have to say that, in some ways it's also been positive for us because if you can withstand the pricing pressure, eventually there's going to be some normalization. And, if you can weather the storm, some of the smaller players that can't keep up with the pricing differentiation and the pricing consolidation, they're going to kind of have to exit the market or look for other creative ways to partner with some of the bigger players to survive.
I don't actually necessarily agree that there is a down pressure. I mean, it depends on the market segment. And also, the down pressure typically works for very simplified, commoditized services. For example, if you basically sell just domain service, there is a downward pressure. But if you sell domain service with various value-added services, overall, the price stays the same. If you sell shared hosting, and it's a very, very basic shared hosting, then there is downward pressure. You only sell based on price. But if you have some special applications with it, or special service with it, upgrade paths, or something like that, there is not really downward pressure. And if you look, for example, into virtual private server offerings or dedicated server offerings, I don't think there is, again, as much downward pressure right now. I mean, like about 12 months ago, a very common theme was like, oh, very soon all dedicated servers will be sold at $49 or at $29 or cheaper. In reality, this hasn't happened. The leaders in this field, like zPlanet or EV1, if you talk about United States, they never offered cheap dedicated servers. I mean, they do offer $99, but they never offer cheaper, and they stay at the same price. What happens is that on the other side, what happens is that continuously the offerings become more sophisticated. So there is more services in them, there is more support in them, there is more features, there is better software included. But the price levels, I don't see that degrading.